I think I changed it even before I switched the screen. Oh god. You notice how much my brain is just mush? I cannot even describe to you how much mush it is. Like, I fucking hate how much mush my brain is just now. Anyway, let's close Godot. Still hope we get some good other stuff to learn. The SDK is like, it's cool that the SDK in Battlefield works, and some people have made some actual cool shit right now with it. Just has other problems. So, yeah. Like, bad documentation. Really, really bad documentation, actually. Oh. I think it's non-existent as of now, but yeah. Oh. It's also just fiddly. Like, I mean, it's cool that it's doable, but also it's just like, God. I kind of hate sitting in front of stuff that I know I could work with, but I don't know how to work with, you know? That's the dumbest part about this. Oh, wow. Game server's full. What the fuck? You know what? Let's look at some stuff. You're making tea?
Yeah.
Nice. Damn. Almost 400,000 people playing right now. That's good. That's really good for a PC game. On Steam, like. Okay, anything we can work towards maybe still. Oh yeah, working on the SMGs right now. There's a few things done. Oh, hey, repair vehicles works again. Hello. So yeah, question mark. Conquest breakthrough. What is anyone being more interested in? Should I take this? Don't put tea bags over my arm. I need it. How am I supposed to pound the noobs now? Oh, she's tickling my hand. I can't work like that. You know what? Let's just go and... Vehicle! Whee! Oh, you're one of those. Yeah, just give me the repairs. Ooh. I repaired vehicles for 2042 damage. I'm definitely down for that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I know. Listen, dumbass, you can just come in and maybe aim. So where is that jet? Oh, nice. I actually got the repairs. Good. Where's the jet? Oh. And now you're removing it from me.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope they will fix the lighting on this map. Ah, almost. Oh, hey, you're coming at us? Well, you're just emptying all the ammo out of the enemy RPG teams. I mean, yes, okay, they crashed. You know what, fuck it, let's roll in, actually. We're in the Leopard 2. Let's do this. Whee! Da 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 da. Honestly, this map will probably play a lot better in Season 1, and people will probably be like, why? How did it suddenly change? And the answer is probably, well, lighting adjustments, because it's fucking bright. It's just really, it's fucking bright. Okay. Yeah, you know, gladly this isn't... Hey, idiots just keep going out. I mean, then again, which one is... I mean, if we learned one thing from the Ukraine war, MBTs, useful. Less useful than they were before. So... But you know what's really good? IFVs. IFVs just keep being good. I mean, I kind of like it that they actually have the Leopard 2 in the game. It's not in enough games. Would be cool if you had like an actual European faction slash, you know, German faction. But I mean, then the jokes come. Well, German faction. Would their stuff even work? And it's like, hey, these games are fiction. You can pretend that's something. Ooh, nice, nice. It's just working as intended. For once. Then again, this is Battlefield. A lot of tech stuff just doesn't work a lot of times. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're also playing? I mean, it's one of those it's one of those situations where I would say I mean, the maps are not that small. Not really. They're dense, but also that's the irony about these types of about Battlefield games, because like IFVs are better in terms of game balance and usage as like anti-infantry vehicles, while MBTs are not good against that. So like for example, that's one of the reasons why I would say, you know, Manhattan Bridge on the when you play Breakthrough in the first sector, aside from the fact that there should be a beach landing, they should just add an IFV to the attackers, period. It would help so much. Make it less suck. Yeah, the maps are not actually that small if you compare them. There are just a few things that I do think a lot of people are getting wrong. Like, they're mostly medium-sized. That's correct. The thing is just they're dense. There's a difference between density and size. Like, you can have small maps that are not that dense, so they feel less big overall. You can also have maps that are like, you know, big but technically have a lot of stuff on them, so they feel dense. And that's what's kind of happening here. Like, for example, the most open map you have is Mirak Valley, and that one is, no, it's still relatively dense, I would say. But even though the size is Caspian border, so yeah. I mean, that's the funny part about this. As I keep saying, yeah. That's I mean, that was always a thing with squad spawning, etc. But like, even then, when you look at, for example, let's just say, even the older ones like 2, etc. 2, 3. It basically still comes down to the fact that you don't really transport people with IFVs in these games, which is interesting because, like, yeah, IFVs in a shooter like Battlefield, you need to see more as what kind of turret does it have versus actually, you know, I mean, I like the fact that there are mobile spawn points. That is just like a genuinely good thing because it actually helps them distinct themselves a little better, and I do think it's just underutilized in most modes. That is a fair point, though. But like, even if we look back at something like you know, Battlefield 3, Banda Desert. Banda Desert is a good map, like a really good map. Okay, they just left the vehicle there. Like, Thunder Desert is a really good map. Like, that's also one thing I keep always saying. When people say, oh, we want big maps, we want big maps, most of the time I don't see people wanting big maps because of, you know, better jet game, you know, more jets and stuff. They usually are just like, we want bigger maps, and then you can definitely say to the degree, do you want bigger maps because they actually would be more interesting, or do you want bigger maps because you just think the combat intensity would be tuned down so you just, you know, die less? Not, you know, oh wait, not die, you die less frequently. Not, you know, oh hey, you actually... Yeah, that's what I feel is actually happening with a lot of these arguments. Because that's a problem with big maps. See, you, aside from the fact that vehicles are impactful, but, you know, not strong right now, I would say. The problem is, making a big map is easy. Making a big map fun, that is hard. Like, I do feel that is one of those reasons why something like Banda actually was probably like a main priority of the whole team, because just being like, oh, we want we're actually going to bring you the, you know, biggest map in franchise history, you know, in the game where the biggest map was, well, it was Caspian Border up until that point. Yeah. They probably were like, we need to make this right. And the interesting thing is, Banda Desert is one of the few times where I really say, yeah, there's a big map that works. It's good. It's genuinely really good. They could not recapture that because, just a few years later, they made Golmud Railway, and Golmud Railway is not good. Whoa, just don't drop onto me. I'm a tank, I know, but god damn it. It's still rude. But like, the irony is, if you look at Banda Desert, the most things you will see are being put onto places to actually, you know, actually go and be like, okay, you move from one place to another. It's jeeps, you know, it's, how's it called? It's jeeps, it's quad bikes, and it's and stuff like that. So yeah, they still use it. That's true. Also, hey, so the other fuck failed. Just defend the tank, you dipshit. Now the enemy has it. Einmal mit Profis. Einmal mit Profis. I probably should knock on Torp's door so on Tuesday they'd be like, hey, wanna suffer together on Blackwell Fields. Yeah, that's just the problem of video games, you know? You can't really do that. Like, the 4 tank maps, those are the really big ones. I mean, they're cool, but also make them good. Again, that's the thing. I can tell you more bad open maps than good ones. But also it's the same thing when people are like, oh, hey, the maps are small. No, they are dense. Also, like, I know I will keep hammering the point, but listen, Reddit is not the world. Like, you should actually not listen to Reddit at all. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes people on Reddit point something out. It could be a problem. Now, you need to understand 2 things very, very importantly about that. First, Most people online, and especially, again, Reddit, are not good faith actors. They will behave politely, they will say things nice and charmingly dependent, but they are not good faith actors. A lot of these people do want stuff for themselves. Like, good example is that one guy posted a clip recently about him just getting horribly outplayed, just not being able to hit someone running at them and doing a little slide, and then posted that on Reddit with the complaint, the movement is Call of Duty, we need to nerf it further. This is the slowest battlefield already. And even the devs are saying, yeah, maybe we should tune it a little bit up again. Again, that's probably the best example what I mean with bad faith. It's not about, is there actually a thing in the game? It's, I lost this firefight, I think I shouldn't lose firefights, ergo something in the game has to be wrong. Not me. Yeah. And then, some websites like PC Gamer just copy paste that shit and run it as a news headline. I'm just like, hey, you want to have a perfect example of how fascism spreads through media? And you're like, it isn't. By the way, I'm not accusing this person of being a fascist. No, this is just someone posts weird shit on the internet and it's getting, regurgitated and reproduced without critical thinking or anything. That is how this happens. It's just like, this sounds, I can spin this into a sensational story, but should you? Anyway, a heavily contested city block. Actually, I agree would still be better there, even in real life, because I mean, the thing is about a lot of the people that want the game to be more like Arma is that I would say they actually are acting to a degree in bad faith, because, like, they had the title that was more that. This was Battlefield 5, and they didn't play it. The thing is just that I think a lot of militant people always want games to be more like their games as a, how's it called? To be like, look how popular our genre is, not, we actually want to play a game. But, yeah, I would say at least when it comes to balancing and stuff, there are a lot of people that do not act in the sense of like, okay, what would be the best for the game? They act in what do I want out of the game. This is why I say this is bad faith, because it's an inherently egocentrical idea. Because if you actually want to design something, you sometimes need to look at things about in ways that, do I want to would I like this? And here's the thing. For example, a good example is Open Weapon. I'm not gonna lie, it is just sometimes pretty nice to just be like, hey, look, I can do how's it called? I can do the dailies at once, because it doesn't fucking matter which weapon class I pick, plus which class I pick. But like, that's still not a good argument for anything. It's just convenience in that regard, but it's still killing an aspect of the game that would be better if it was differently designed and to a fundamental different level. But yeah. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Hey, bad faith arguments is more often that it's not in like, is the person themselves doing that willingly? It's just a general thing to be like,
aware.
It's an awareness of knowing that people who argue to you do not necessarily, no matter how they phrase it, want your best. Okay, that's the point. They don't want your best or the best for the game. They want the best for them. That is the point. Not that, this is an inherently philosophical question about, does this person know they have bad intentions? Something we cannot prove. The point is just like, if you go online and you read comments, you need to keep in mind that, especially when someone is polite, be double aware. Because a lot of people that, you know, sometimes post the dumbest shit do it in very polite ways. That's the point here. Yeah. But again, I also say a lot of people just don't understand, you know, basic design stuff. Like, again, every time we hear about, oh, the maps are, you know, big enough, and we know they're dense. What you want are more open maps. I mean, ironically, you know, the next one is Blackwell Farms.
I don't want more open maps and actually just want more time until combat encounter them.
That's another point, yeah. That could also be a thing.
Because you never know.
Yeah, you don't know. That's a
because most people do not have the language to express it, and that can either be like because they literally don't have the language, or they intentionally use a simplified language to hide their intentions. You don't know.
I mean, that's the thing about design. You need to identify problems more. I think the biggest irony, at least for me, is that, you know, content creators were able to actually play the new maps. And they're like, yeah, Blackwell Farms is just okay, I think. I'm like, Because usually all the maps that are much more interesting are the denser ones with, you know, good, well-designed, you know, run times between POVs, etc. Or, you know, they're just a lot of quads that you can get from point A to point B all the time. That's stuff like that. But I can already tell you, Blackwell Farms will be pretty important to just the overall feel, because I think that's the funniest part. If it isn't like one of those, hey, you can you know, oh hey, this is the really big super you know, 10 tanks on each side, go standoff map, like, yeah, the irony about it is that you will end up with a map that's just okay. But it's still gonna be important. Like, you need maps like Blackwell Farms that are just okay in an overall design scheme. Like, here's the thing. Yeah, I'd say the current amount of maps is just slanted in 6. Like, let's just think for a second. What are the there was a mine. What are the non-dense maps? And the answer is Mirak Valley. That's it. It's basically just Mirak Valley. I like the other maps, okay? But yeah, if you want one that is not as dense, Mirak Valley. So that's a ratio of 1 to 8. 1 to 8 maps. I mean, actually, it's 1 to 7 because Saints Quarters isn't even a thing in the big rotation pool, but different point, you know. Anyway, let's talk a bit more about that. So the thing is, I'd say overall, best map pool at launch is still 3. This, I can totally agree with people being like, there is an overcorrection in this game from what 2042 did, but not that the maps are bad. I'd say the most problems I can see with maps are either technical, like other bugs, like, for example, if you look at Operation Firestorm, it's still Operation Firestorm. The problem is, and that now at launch the movement speed is so low that if you actually if you actually want to rotate between objectives that were designed around a way higher movement speed, it feels off. Also that you suddenly don't need to jump between things, but like, oh hey, I can just have firefights in between. Also a bit different. And it's just too grinding fucking blind. So yeah, when they actually do like, hey, we're going to increase the movement speed a little bit again, good. And maybe work a bit on the spread, also good. It might play better, But we'll have to see how that turns out actually. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I would say overall, Black Ops will probably help out because suddenly you have more maps in rotation if you play Conquest or Breakthrough that are just not, oh hey, tight close quarters stuff. Whether the MP7 is even considered against enemies with hard body armor that's resistant to even AP rifle round. I mean, I don't even know if people are using hard body armor here. But hey, there are a lot of PWs in the world. Technically two. It's the P90 and the MP7. So give it some slack. One of those things where I would say it's one of those situations though where I would say if the series does need one thing at some point, I do think most military is nowadays Kevlar vests, but no heavy body armor because A, that's hard to do. Like it's hard to manufacture, maintain, and also it's not really that sensible, ironically. Like you want mobility with your troops, you do not want them hyper armored if the armor has too many downsides. And the MP7 is actually armor piercing, so that's the thing. It's not that bad. The problem is just, well, how should I be putting it? The thing about the MP7 is simply, MP7 and P90 for that matter, it's just the fact that both of them use an armor-piercing round, and there was never a standardization of armor-piercing rounds. So that's the irony about the PDWs. I think there are a few more nowadays that also use armor-piercing rounds, but yeah, because PDWs were like, oh, we need this, so else no one can, because else everyone will wear Kevlar vests, and it turned out not really, because the irony is that the whole Kevlar vest thing was just paranoia. Like that's literally what happened. Everyone used in my country as well as use not for all of them. Like again, I'd see the vests, yes, but the average soldier is not in full body armor. Because, as said, this is full body armor all the time would be one hell of a logistical problem. And it's also just not as good for mobility and stuff. Okay, what is happening here? I guess. Yeah, they have some armor, but, it's not, it's not the thing most people would consider as, full armor. And also, again, most people, oh, that happened. And, like, you could still, shoot other extremities than chest.
Chest isn't an extremity.
You can shoot extremities and not just the chest. Yeah. I mean, there we have to talk about the whole viability of everything. Like, I mean, there's a reason that basically the battle rifle is making a return. But yeah, this is a complicated point. Like, I mean, the irony about this is that, from what I know, the only army that is really wanting to adopt basically a new battle rifle is the USA. And even then, every other country in the world is basically still using, 5.56 or another intermediate round. Because, like, that's also a thing. The Russians did bring body armor in the beginning, and it didn't help them a lot, even against, AK-74s and stuff. So, yeah. I don't know what the penetration capabilities of the MP7 are directly, but I mean, it's the whole, it was made for civilian stuff. That's the irony also why a lot of these things That's one of the ironies about PDWs. It's like, oh no, we need something that is basically an MP because, you know, everyone has been using MPs for decades at that point. Specifically, you know, the MP5 because, yay, German production. I mean, okay, the MP5 is just, it was just that good. And, you know, then there was the whole, we need that, else something bad will happen. And then, you know, basically 2 were produced and some more are produced later. But everyone kind of realized that, nah. Yeah, but that's the irony. Turns out, for the situations where people were like, oh, we definitely need, the MP7, you know, to do against Kevlar. Most of the situations brought up didn't matter because in day-to-day situations, most people, even in you know, even when it comes to police and such, you don't need armor-penetrating rounds. And the irony is, if you actually are in a situation where that might be useful, most people have carbines anyway. Which is just so ironic. But yeah. The story of the PDWs, aka not gonna end in any form well. But I like them for the multiplayer game. I like even for games because, like, in the end, all of these are like, is it sensible that the MP5 and UMP are in this game? Not really, but yeah. Da 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 da. Nice. Fuck yeah! First engineer achievement done. Repairing worked again. Happy. Yeah. But hey, you know what? It still gave us 2 absolutely iconic weapons. So I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, like if there is a PDW used, it's like okay. Woo! The mine killed it. I mean, PDWs are like, but then again, why do we like the P90? Hello, Stargate. Which is ironic considering I think even Stargate used MP5s in the beginning and then they switched to the to the P90, which was probably even a good decision back then. You know, all things considered, I mean, I would like a new Stargate series that is more about maybe like actually the whole, hey, we're in deep shit, how do you like actually organize you know, military stuff through Stargates. But like not a dumb idea when you're like that you're like, hey, maybe have something with a bit of power on you where you're going into unknown territory where people might have some armor. I like the P90 because it's costed 2. Ah, yes, the classic Counter-Strike. But yeah, honestly, P90 was pretty nice in Counter-Strike. I give it that. That's probably also one of those reasons why I immediately bounced off of stuff like Valorant, because like they really went for the most boring guns possible ever. Like, damn. Can you be more generic, baby? Give us nothing. And then also on both sides, it's like, yeah, you're like out for 2 years already. You could have a second set of guns. You can have some asymmetry as a treat. Yeah, and then people are like, but, you know, it's, you know, but it's about the heroes. Listen, aside from the fact that a bunch of the hero abilities are reskinned Molotov cocktails. Let's just, you know, let's just make that clear. Still doesn't change the fact that the game could have had, you know, it could have had asymmetrical weapons if they tried. It could have had more interesting selections if they wanted to. Like, literally, it's like, I don't mind having the an MP5-like thing in there, because the MP5 is just, it's just a thing, you know, I don't... But it's so fucking funny when you look at the Counter-Strike lineup of having stuff like the Bison, the, you know, Bison, MP9, like a lot of stuff that is just... A lot of, you know, a lot of, you know, unique looking shit. That's it, okay? But like also it's, oh hey, here's the M4 and the AK on the same game. Like, here's the thing. I don't mind the idea of making a, you know, Counter-Strike but a hero shooter. That's fine. It's not a bad idea. What I do mind, though, is just the fact that then people keep defending, oh, no, it wouldn't work that way. Listen, they could have asymmetrical weapons, they could have more interesting weapon designs, they could have had asymmetrical hero lineups, as in, like, you know, literally 2 different teams and you had to pick maybe 2 per round. That would be a thing if they wanted to. And also they could have made it so that not every fucking map is Mirage. They could. Because I don't think the hero gameplay will suffer just because you suddenly stop making every single fucking map Mirage. It's like, it is it's creatively, it is stuck there. It's, again, I need to be clear. I don't think it's a bad game per se. Too much of that is actually of it is lifted from good games for that to happen, but it's also clear that it's banking off of two things here. First of all, Counter-Strike is a cesspool and Valve isn't doing anything about it. So if you want to play anything remotely like Counter-Strike, yeah, it's either you bite down and just deal with the bullshit, or you go to the game that is marginally better moderated. Now, but then it's like, oh, but why are, but you know, you can't make guns and stuff asymmetric. You can.
Explosive ready!
I think that was the same guy again. Sorry, this is just so fucking funny. Deal 2000 damage with mines. Me, okay, runs up to tank, throws a mine onto it. This is why I play Battlefield. You can just do bullshit, you know? Also, any kind of Counter-Strike also needs a bit more bullshit, but yeah, that's the thing, you know. The reason why they just have all the guns on all teams all the time is literally, it's just quite literally that. How should I put it in the best way? They quite literally, in my opinion, just looked at, they just said, yeah, no, we're going to make it so that all the maps are the same, because that's balancing, baby. Because that's a problem, you see? Counter-Strike and a map pool that developed out of the core aspect that it was an open game. People could just map for it. So people made bullshit. Like, a lot of maps in Counter-Strike are bad. If you ever sit down, you know, and I know, okay, I know that is hard to do, but here's a thing. You go and you grab, you know, 9 other people. You put up a server of Counter-Strike Source, the original one, you know, just Source, you know, just Source. And then you just go through the map list in Source. And then just count how much bullshit there is versus how much interesting things there are. And, like, what I would say, the 1 or 2 new maps that, you know, Go actually got were not bad. It's clear that Counter-Strike Go was just basically, yeah, we're going to balance the good one. Yeah, I wanted to say the original because Counter-Strike Go is also on Source Engine, so, you know, I know 1.6, but, like, I mean, just Source is the best example. I think it just has a lot of maps built in that are just trash from what I remember, and that's fine. It's a weird one. Fun fact, I like 1.6 more than Source, just to clear the record here. I'm very much a 1.6 trooper. That game was good. And only Go was, like, you know, better after updates and such. So just going onto the record here, I like 1.6 more. Yeah, Counter-Strike is one of those games that had a long-standing he drove into the once again. I'm sorry. I just said I like playing engineer in this game. It's very funny. And now I do need to do damage with launchers. Whee! Anyway, the thing I want to point out is that for the past long time now, Counter-Strike had a long list of weirdos doing experimental stuff, but then also being able to sift through them. And frankly, I do think, especially in the modern sensibilities, a lot of maps in multiplayer games are nowadays designed to work. Because people don't just want a new map, they want a map that is at least to play. Because, like, yeah, listen, if you play Counter-Strike 1.6 and some weirdo yanks out the map and then your team is like, look, they made a new map, and then you're like, it's just an adjusted what was it? Inferno. What the fuck is going on? There were so many adjusted Infernos. This is weird. But yeah, people made weird shit. Italy is a weird layout. Inferno is a weird layout. Nuke is a weird layout. And that's cool. We just had time to filter weird layouts. Similarly, if you look at the history of Battlefield, you see that a lot of early game layouts are more like, here's an idea and let's just see how it works. Now, then we have had this whole era, and let's just be clear here. We had this whole era of paid map DLCs, and let me just be clear here. If the whole map review started at one point, really, and became somewhat serious, it was at that. Because I get it. You don't want to pay, you know, another $60 and then half of the maps you get in there are just weird shit. Sometimes aggravatingly dumb. I'd still say they were worthwhile because I do think every game needs to experiment with something. Like, here's the thing. Siege of Cairo, look at, is not really a creative map in terms of layout. It is definitely one of the best maps in this game, period. It's really fun to play. Like, there's a lot of... It's one of those things where someone sat down and just fine-tuned an existing concept, you know? That's cool. I really fucking like that. But there's no new weird stuff. Like, if I could count, like, there's so many maps in this game that are just 5 flag layouts in a box, basically. Like Manhattan Bridge, which they could have made bigger. This is probably why people like the escalation layouts, which should be, you know, actually the conquest layout. But like, this is a very simple layout to create a good flow. I like Manhattan Bridge. It's good. I cannot say more. Like, I'm sorry. I cannot say more. At some point people will realize that, wait, this is just becoming more and more basic. And basic is fine to a degree, I would say. But yeah, Valorant is the epitome of basic. Because if you want to make a Counter-Strike clone, and you do want to have, and you do want to come out and don't just have half of your map will be weird experimental shit that you maybe rework later, you know, when you have enough data, then you default to the most basic layouts that are, you know, playable. So every map is Mirage. You know, Mirage with a gimmick. To be fair for a second, they do try to hide that it's just Mirage. But yeah, it's just a very boring game. I had probably more fun in other games making you know, Counter-Strike modes than Valorant, to be honest. Ew! Oh god, it's not going well for me with in this round. I just want my second subclass. Wah. But yeah, actually, now that I think about it, you know, hero shooter with a Counter-Strike mode. Fucking Dirty Bomb. And everyone, wait, Dirty Bomb? Yeah, there was a small time where they actually tried to make their own Counter-Strike mode. And okay, listen, I've talked a lot about Dirty Bomb on this channel already, and I like Dirty Bomb, and you probably know that. But you know the funniest bit about this is, while they were like, hey, listen, not that many people played it, for correct reasons, you know, like they came here for this one type of game, and suddenly we put a second one in there, and you know, maybe we should just refocus on our main stuff, which kind of sucks because now you can't actually play that mode anymore, even though, you know, the game is technically free, because they patched it out again. What was fun? Like, okay, you know, if you know me, I'm one of those people, I'm not really that attached to Counter-Strike. I still think 1.6 was the most fun. Counter-Strike Go kind of got there, then it got skins, fuck that. I do think Valorant is probably the most bland iteration of them all. Yeet. But truth be told, I really liked that mode. And I don't know why. I think to a degree, it was the fact that, you know, you could actually do shit with your, operators, like, that's one of those things, now that I think about it. That's probably one of the parts I really disliked about Valorant. Because everything in Valorant is still built around the whole look where, you can basically buy all the abilities and they're just variants of the Molotov. And meanwhile, in Dirty Bomb, it was like, no, if you go in with a healer, you can revive your team. So that was pretty powerful, actually, and it worked better than than you probably expected to. Similarly, if you played Engineers, yeah, you had like a bunch of usually ordnance with you, but also you could, because because the mode just abstracted everything that was in the base game anyway, you could actually plant and defuse faster. So playing one of those was useful. Or playing someone with, more health and higher armor, also useful. It's weird how well this works, especially with the movement. And then you're like, okay, but the maps will probably ask. Shockingly, no. They were actually pretty good. I still remember one of them because it's one of those. Hey, remember when I talk about when I said Valorant maps don't have anything interesting going on? One of the maps was so clearly seared into my mind because it had trains, so that's a bonus point. But the cool part about it was basically the train line and the trains ran right, like in a bit of a arc shape through the center of the map. So it did two things. First of all, it split the map in two halves, one side, the other side. And those had multiple approaches on their own. So, depending on which side the attackers focused on, you could have like a very good dynamic no matter where. But here's the thing. That elevated train that, was basically there on the map through the center, yeah, that was walkable. Like, on top, you could run on that train. And you're probably thinking, wait, that's fucking suicide. Well, yes, but also, the interesting thing about this is that, well, Dirty Bomb is a bit, bullet spongy. Not a lot, but a bit. Meaning you had, if you got shot, not with a sniper rifle, you had time to actually get maybe off the train. But crucially, that train was the fastest way to both bomb sites. So the thing is, a lot of people never went up there because they were like, are you stupid? Everyone sees you. The thing is just, if you timed it right, you could just hop onto that train, run down the middle, and just flank everyone to hell and back. It was good. That's what I mean with try weird things. Just do weird stuff. Like, the more if you have a game with just one, life per round, the more crucial it is to have interesting sections on your maps that genuinely facilitate, can I do bullshit here and get away with it? Because that makes it fun. And the other two maps were good. I don't think they were as good as the train map, but they were good. They just had like 3 maps. And then you learned, by the way, the guy who made those maps was the same guy that made DDoS 2. And then you realized, okay, yeah, sorry, they were cooking with the good shit. It's so funny because, like, I do think if they actually, like, I know Dirty Bomb failed as an enemy territory successor, and I hate that. But I also hate the fact that I know if they actually spun out that mode and, maybe rebuild it in Unreal Engine 4, maybe just, worked a bit on the monetization and all of that, they could have killed Valorant dead in the water. Because people wanted a Counter-Strike competitor. And literally all it took apparently was just some semi-competent map making and a hero aspect, I guess. Anyway, talked a lot about Counter-Strike here now. I still find it interesting that they actually remade DDoS 2 in Portal here. So, I mean, hey, that's probably the other problem we have nowadays is the fact that how many companies do you know you could actually copy maps from? You know, even if there's an editor in the game. Because what also happened is a bunch of people tried to do like Shipment, Kill House, you know, Nuketown, the Call of Duty maps. And EA was like, stop doing that. Which is not that surprising. Like, I get DDoS 2 being remade because, like, it's one of those cases where I think Valve doesn't own the intellectual rights to it, but also, crucially, they don't give a shit. But it still sucks. I don't think people should, you know, always use stuff to remake things, but it's training. I get that.
Our troops have secured more objectives.
Another thing where I would say there should be actually more crossovers between games instead of just cosmetic bullshit, you know? Like, I would love to have something from one game reinterpreted in another game. Just, it would be so cool to see again, and it just rarely happens, and I think the only one who really goes for it nowadays is, Valve, because they are probably more like, no, you have the rights on the finished stuff then, which is good. I kind of hate the fact that publishers are just so uptight about this. Because, like, here's the thing. I know not everyone remembers it fully, but, like, okay. Payday the Heist comes out on, you know, gets basically released on PC. It's actually pretty popular. People like it. And Valve was like, hey, you wanna do something on our games? And we get no mercy. And that's cool. Because suddenly you have a section from one game that you already knew and played, reinterpreted in another game. And that was just great. And then they did it again. Ironically, this is now a time capsule. Because, Remember Go Bank? That's a Counter-Strike Go crossover. With the with that one mode they tried doing back in the day where you had like 3v3, you know, Counter-Strike matches on small maps. And it's kind of interesting to think about that because I think most people don't know that. They probably don't they don't even make the connection there because yeah. That mode is dead. But you can still play it basically in Payday 2. And that's cool, you know? Then you have, but, you know, then they never did that again. Like, it's so fucking funny. And I'm using this one deliberately today. Payday 3 is out. And we can talk long about Payday 3 being just kind of crappy. Even if they're still working on it, even if they still have now people coming back onto the team for it, I will see how this goes, but I'm not hoping a lot. It just actually looks more like they're turning it into Payday 2 Lite, which is... I don't know, maybe it at least reaches a state of enjoyability, but I doubt that. But the thing is, when that game still had money and manpower, they did a goddamn crossover with fucking Rainbow Six Siege. And it was literally just cosmetics for Rainbow Six Siege. I am baffled. Because you could have quite easily just be like, hey, here's one... Okay, I don't know which gun is like actually known from Siege, or you could at least be like, hey, here are maybe some attachments or stuff from Siege as gadgets in... If we interpreted gadgets in, you know, Payday 3, and, you know, oh wait, in Rainbow Six Siege, there is a bank! A pretty famous level, actually. So why isn't that a Payday level? You could have literally made it like, yeah, it would be a Payday 3 level, but I don't care. Like, genuinely, you could legitimately just made a fucking... But no, they didn't. Why? Or hey, we have some crossover with The Division 2. Oh, are you going to make something in Washington DC again? Because, you know, hey, your previous game was in Washington DC, and this one is New York, and like, hey, both The Division is in New York and DC, so you could have some cross... Nope, you're not doing that. What? You're working well with Ubisoft now. You're not even remotely thinking about them asking, hey, about asking them, can we maybe just redo some stuff from your games in our game? Just as a little, you know, uni favor thing. On the other hand, by the way, they could have actually turned First World Bank into a goddamn Siege map if they wanted to. You'd probably be like, what the fuck? Probably needed some adjustments and stuff, but like, that's level design for you. You know, just pick any known Payday 1 game and just map and turn that into a Siege map. It would be interesting because people like that. But like, game design, multiplayer game design has just become boring on such a weird level, you know? Not bad. Boring. And I think this is actually, you know, looping back. Haha, I got you. I'm looping back to the original topic. I think that is also what a lot of people describe online when they talk about map bad. It's not bad. I think Empire State is a good map, you know, aside from people glitching onto rooftops where they have no business being on. Let's just ignore that part. Okay, let's just fucking ignore that part for a second. Manhattan Bridge is a good map. Empire State is a good map. Siege of Cairo is a very good map, actually. Really fun to play. Murak Valley is also a solid map. They're all solid in this game. I don't think I hate a single map right now. Okay, I hate Manhattan Bridge in Breakthrough, but it's just generally one of those things where I'm like, listen, one more sector, make a beach landing, and then actually, actually just, rework the first sector. Second flag, further back, so 2-flag sector, a linear one, and then you give the attacking team a fucking IFV. That's literally what the map needs. Just a fucking IFV. So you can just break through a part, and that's... Anyway. Yeah, look at Amira. Fuck. I need something again. Oh, hi, bot.
All squads move out for attack. Take control of the objectives and
Robert, I'm not tapping out now. Hey, look at this. This is one of the rare 6-flag layouts, I would say. But people like this map, dislike this map for other reasons, like the ridge right there to our right is just too open. Yeah, just put some fucking houses there. I saw Danny doing that in the portal editor. It should not be that hard, dives. Or rocks, just put some rocks there. Just block off the sniping spots. Come on. That's literally one of the few problems that this map has. The rest is fine. But yeah, literally, I would say so much in map design and stuff, it's just become boring because it's always the same. Because the idea is nowadays you have to make a good and balanced map. And listen, I've been the first person to really be like, hey, a lot of maps in the, especially the expansion passes in, Battlefield 4 suck. They were bad. They were like whole expansions that were just bullshit. Like, Naval Strike in Battlefield 4, bullshit. China Rising, one map, really fucking good. The rest, absolute garbage. Oh wow. What a... You know what? I'm going to do the most pettiest thing, because they sold these individually at 15 euros. So, I got 4 maps in China Rising. 3 are straight ass. They're just garbage. They're bad. But 1 is really good. To the point it should probably be remade. That means I got 5 euros worth of 15. 5. Less than 5, because it's... yeah. Ah! More like 4 point something, I would say, or 3 point something. God. Like probably 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 euros I got worth. Cool. That's definitely what I want for my... That's definitely what I want. Because, yeah. Sorry for monologuing that much. It does help with the stress, though. How was the weekend for everyone so far? Hope it's enjoyable.
We now hold Echo. We are moving on objective Charlie. Charlie is being neutralized. Right, we have secured more objectives. Let's hold it. Be advised, hostile forces are still ahead in the fight. Let's regroup.
Hit the dirt!
You're outside the combat area. Return ASAP. Marked objective under threat. Let's defend the position.
Frag away!
Damn. Big explosion.
We're attacking objective Alpha. The enemy has secured more objectives. Let's rally and counter. Secured Alpha. Marked objective under threat. Let's defend the position.
I really probably need to spam King of the Hill the next days to get all those kills with close quarters kills up. Hey! Well, it's fun. Playing the MP7. Do we want to switch to another MP though? Huh. So, in terms of MPs, we have not yet used well, UMG 40 UMP. I get to you in 90. I don't think I've ever used that a lot. Why not? Let's do some MP5 play.
Hostiles attacking objective Delta.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I like you UMP more. This has more oomph.
I knew you had my back. Cover me! Here's spare ammo.
Be advised, hostiles still control more objectives. Let's regroup.
Keep them off target. Hold the ground.
We took back the objective.
Offensive position needed on the marked objective.
Oh. Where are the vehicles though? Haven't seen an IFV or so in a haven't seen that one in a long time. I can tell you I'm definitely not the most locked in cat girl playing Battlefield. Then again, I'm orange, so what do you expect from me? I bounce between this is stupid and wow, you're IQ 9000 genius. Hey, it's like, you know, the line of genius and stupidity is very thin. Like, you know, running up to a tank and throwing a mine onto it. Yeah, stupid. But you know, it worked. So yay! I don't know. I think I kill enough. Don't need to be in. I don't even think I have the setup to do like aim training or stuff. Ooh. Turbo Tito. Oh yeah. Redo Yugoslavia fast. Well, the fact that it shoot back. Yeah, well. great for you. How are you doing? God. Okay. Seriously, where are the tanks? Oh, there. Stress. That's it. I tried working a bit on Godot, before, and I got to a point, but like I need to definitely take another swing at what I wanted to, what I want to achieve. Damn it. Hey, slowly getting up there with the, launcher damage. Because, I do think the second engineer job is probably a bit better overall. At least, especially when you want to play, tanking, so... I think that's the funniest bit. I don't have a problem with sub-classes or specializations in general. I just think most are either pointless or the relevant ones. Like, for example, good example here. We have anti-armor, so damaging enemy vehicles reduces their repair effectiveness and stuff, you know, but you start with more rockets, you reload launchers faster and stuff. That's good if you want to play infantry engineer. Then you have this, and it's like, oh, that's good. Then you look at the assault, and you suddenly feel like, okay, more grenades, movement penalty when firing while moving, okay, and reload grenades faster. That's not, that's good. Meanwhile, then you look at the support, and it's like, that's good. That's useless. Like, oh, you get the ammo faster back. Not something you need in this game if you're not having a dedicated ammo class. The sniper is even more insulting because it's like, oh, do sniping, and you need to do sniping to get this one, which is actually good. So yeah, it's like, I hope they introduce more down the line because it would probably help, but hey, they stopped at 2 for Battlefield 5, so my hopes are not high. Damn it. Oh well, I'm actually almost have it. Damn. How's the week been? How's it with yeah, how are you, and like, hope everything is there, is good as well there. How are the cats doing? Still climbing shoulders? Nice. Cats are important. We would live in a cruel world without without cats. Also without tanks. Yeah, I feel like English is like, if there's a second language to learn, you need to definitely spend time using it. It's like, I have the upside of actually having a lot of people I need to converse in English with, so... Aside from... Okay, so by the way, if you're wondering, hey, Nia, is your fusing of like 3 words into one a thing you only do in English? No! I get even more extreme in German. That's just a thing that I do, I guess. Whoops. But yeah. And also tried learning the Portal editor, but truth be told, it is very confusing. And there's not a good documentation, so me making the one mode I want to make all the time has probably has to wait still. Da, 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 da. Okay. Where are the tanks? Shut up, sniper. No one likes you. It's so stupid. Stop sitting in your fucking camp and shooting down. Hey, that the round is actually ending perfectly, I would say. So yeah. I mean, if you're all interested, if you're wondering, I will stream on Tuesday because yeah, season 1 is there. Don't know if we start at the regular time or a bit earlier. We will see. But yeah, season 1 Tuesday, gonna be there, play the new map and stuff. So yeah. We really turned this match around in the end. Oh. Ouch. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in here. I'm glad I actually managed to do to set up a bit in Godot, but yeah, I definitely need to look more into the whole how can I do pathfinding between 2 points, so that the whole logic works. God damn it, Connor, you're tuning in at like the last 2 minutes. It's like yeah. But hey, yeah, we are almost done with the second engineer mission. Cool. Almost done with the SMGs, well, the first SMG mission, because let me just check getting the. Oh, well, that's doable. That is very doable, actually. Very doable. They will nerf some heavily, so I don't think they will nerf the close quarters one here, but still, that's you know, it's gonna be interesting. I do want to try the SL9. Probably should work towards that, but you know, they're gonna do carbines next anyway. So I have not touched the LMGs a lot though. That's very funny. Yeah. Hopefully this one gets reworked. We get kills assist on concussed enemies is stupid. Yeah, hey, almost done here. Well. Damage, wait. Really anti-air launchers using? Natural laser technique enemy vehicles using. Are you fucking kidding me? Who? Okay, you know what? I'm almost like now tracked. Doable. We did it in one stream. Doable. We almost did it in one stream. You know, if the enemies would have had some tanks, they could use a bit more. But like, also, they couldn't see the run up throw mine under them. But like, that's doable. That is literally chance based. What the fuck? That's doable. That's doable. But I need to do this bullshit before. What is... I mean, this will be nerfed, but like... Nice! No more Call of Duty. The world has has gone past the need for Call of Duty. Honestly, I don't even know how Black Ops 7 will be. I only would say zombies is interesting, but the stuff I played is just the same, and it's just felt like I did this before. I don't know why I should keep playing this. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, I definitely need to get to that because that's just complete bullshit. Anyway, yeah, see you around. This was some Battlefield to end out. Tomorrow, Lunacid. Very important. Finally getting to play that, and then Monday we will see, but Tuesday Season 1 Battlefield. Be there. We're gonna play a lot. So yeah, see you around then. Have a good rest of the weekend, a great Sunday ahead of you, and stay safe, stay healthy, and sleep well. Bye.